everyone, and welcome to our product inspiration series for Intelligent CX. My name is Sven, and today we'll be exploring the latest innovations and enhancements in SAP Service Cloud version 2 with a specific focus on case management. Who better to guide us through this topic than Viswa, who leads our product team for Sales and Service Cloud Foundation, along with Pavithra, our well-known luminary in the area of customer service solutions. It's great to have you both joining us today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be part of the session today. Thanks, Sven, for this initiative.
Likewise, I'm excited to be here and provide the latest updates on the case management.
So let's start with the first question. What exactly is case management in SAP Service Cloud version 2? I still remember ticket management and the ticket work center. How does the new case management differ from previous versions and what benefits does it bring?
When we started to design the case management capabilities within V2, we made a clear decision to expand the scope of feature from just being an incident management tool to more being building a framework which can be actually used for different scenarios. With this, we wanted to cover different categories like incident management, service delivery, investigative cases, and also process to decision. So with the case management framework, we can support simple to complex processes and give different experiences for different processes. We can also bring together processes, people, and the content together and let everyone collaborate over it. We can also accelerate the decisioning and the execution part of it, providing insights and automation via AI agents. So these experiences, the collaboration, the automation capabilities, so these are all the big differences that we are actually bringing with case management in V2 when you compare this against what we had in our V1.
By investing in case management in SAP Service Cloud version 2, we aim to empower organizations to deliver personalized and timely support experiences, ultimately enhancing the customer satisfaction as well as loyalty. We'll show a lot of these examples in the demo later.
Okay, that's great to hear. Could you please describe the capabilities that case management offers and how flexible is it for service organizations to configure their individual support processes, fine-tune the application, and make use of machine learning and generative AI?
Case management offers two main capabilities. One is for the administrator to map their business process within the case designer with what we call as the phases and steps. Phases are logical chunks of processes and steps are the units within the processes which we expect as well as guide the agent to perform. We offer multiple step types like input, autoflow, approval, to-do, with which the admin will be able to map the process to the case type. For the agent, we have the case runtime, which is where the agent would be executing the cases that are being assigned to him. Our solution also enables real-time collaboration with colleagues, access to knowledge bases, and integration with SAP S/4HANA or Field Service Management for scheduling field service technician visits as well as arranging for the spare parts. This comprehensive scenario ensures that the agents have all the necessary tools to efficiently resolve customer issues.
Excellent. I see the tension is definitely increasing and everyone wants to get straight to the system demo. But before doing that, let me ask you one last question. How can customers take the full advantage of case management in Service Cloud version 2?
Customers can benefit in two main ways. First and foremost, customers should see how they can leverage this flexible framework to provide a guided experience for their agents when solving their requests either in their call centers or in back office. Second, efficiency and automation is a key aspect of case management. By breaking down the processes into smaller steps, customers can look at how they can automate the steps, and also by utilizing the AI agents, these steps can be efficiently resolved. Now, our end goal is that agents should be involved in a process only when there is an exception. So a case is a vehicle to orchestrate this automation, and if there is an exception, it offers the tools for the agents to intervene and to get the process moving. I think With that, let me hand it over to Pavithra for the demo.
Thank you, Vishwa. As Vishwa explained, case management is intended to be a framework using which admin could set up various scenarios. In addition, admin has complete customization and flexibility in designing the screens as well as the case flows. For an agent, it is the guided experience to resolve the cases. Efficiency and automation is the key, and we try to focus on an intuitive, easy to navigate user interface. Let's take a sample case handling flow and try to see how exactly the same can be set up in the system as well as executed by the agents. So, this is a sample demo flow for a case management scenario wherein a case is created through the various different channels, either through the CDI channels or through API or via the self-service portal. So the case is created and it is currently assigned to an agent or a team. That is the automation part of it. So once the case has been created and assigned, the agent who opens it first validates all the case data. That is, he will be able to review the data that is already populated as a part of the case and correct if necessary. He goes on to capture the issue details, adds the product details, and notifies the customer on the case creation. And then ultimately, he will update the case status as well as the team if required. So the assigned team will continue to process this case using various AI and ML scenarios that we have uh, embedded as a part of the application, and they will be able to review the case summary using GenAI, and he can also check for similar cases and create an email response using the GenAI capability as well, using our email draft response creation. So then once the email has been sent to the customer, further actions will be taken up. So whether a sub case needs to be created, a task needs to be created, monitor the progress, and then compile the results and then communicate it to the customer. And finally, as a follow-up, the solution details are added and the lead and opportunity are created if there is a cross and upsell opportunity. And finally, the complete and classify of the case and customer feedback survey. So this is a typical flow that is set up and many of our customers to handle a sample case management scenario. So let's look into the system on how we will be able to set up the same in the case management framework. So we have a concept called case types, using which the admin will be able to define not only the flow but also the various parameters that need to be taken into consideration while the case is created. So when we open the case flow, again, at the header level, we have the case type, the description, and the version description as well. You can create multiple versions of the case type if you need minor modifications that need to be done. Then there is also the assignment of a status schema, a number range to the cases, including a prefix if required. Party schema can be assigned as well as the catalog. So each and every case type can have its own parameters defined and mapped at the case type setting level. In addition, as features, we also provide the case hierarchy using which the end user would be able to create subcases and link, and also the task management, wherein if a task needs to be created and assigned to an individual either inside the service organization or even outside, it can also be done. Now, for specifically the case hierarchy settings, we have also the relationship settings that can be maintained. So there can be multiple types of relationship between a main and a sub case, and it can also be maintained accordingly as part of the settings. Coming to the case flow, so this is where we can, as an administrator, be able to define the entire flow that we discussed, which is a part of the business process that is typically followed at the customer's place. So there will be an initial review wherein using the various different step types, we will be able to create the end-to-end process and replicate it in the Service Cloud BT solution. So as a part of the steps, we have multiple types of steps that we support. A to-do step, which is more an instructional step to tell the agent what needs to be done. An Autoflow step, which will automatically trigger either a email notification or any other types of Autoflow actions that we currently support. An approval step can also be placed in the case flow. A mashup can be brought within the flow, and feedback at the end of the case completion to be able to get the feedback from the end customer can also be set up as a part of the flow. In addition, we also have an input step using which we will be able to bring in the case attributes onto the case flow screen so that the agent has has a very specific look into what are the fields that are currently the context and the focus, and he can work on them in line in the case flow. And also for the administrator to be able to automate the certain assignments, we also provide an assignment step wherein the assignment actions, like, okay, at the end of this, assign the service team to be something else, or update the status to be customer action. So all of those small automations can also be done using the assignment step. So just quickly looking into some of the step types here. So again, as I mentioned, this is the input step type, wherein the administrator will be able to bring in drag and drop fields into the input area, and then they will be able to also support the values being modified by agents at runtime during the case processing. And let's take an example of an autoflow step here again. So you will be able to create an autoflow step, automatically trigger it as well. That means that as soon as the agent arrives at this step, the email notification or the autoflow step is executed by itself. There is a mapping to the autoflow rule that can be created as well. And in addition, for each of these step types, we also support what is known as preconditions. Preconditions are entry conditions for the executability of the step. So whether or not a precondition is met decides whether the agent can actually execute a particular step or not. So we can also create preconditions using the various attributes of case as well as the extension fields that the customer has created on the case entity. Similarly, let's take an example of an assignment step here. So as you can see, I have created an assignment step here, and I have defined the assignment actions to set the status code to customer action and the service team to a certain value as well. So using this as an administrator, I will be able to define not only the case flow, but also what are the features that appear at a case level. So whether the agent would be able to create a subcase, create a task, and so on. So with this, I have already created a sample case for us to go through the agent experience on this particular case management scenario. So as you can see, I have created a case already, and most of the details of the case are filled in, including the categorization, the basic details with respect to which is the account and the contact that is related to this particular case, who is it assigned to, and the category information is filled in as well. So multi-level categorization can be maintained, and the category can be filled in by the agent or even determined using machine learning. And then we also have the basic set of data coming in as a part of card view here, so the status and the priority. And then we can also define service level and determine the service level's due date, which is also visible to the agent here. And not only the due dates, the indication of whether the due date is overdue or it is completed is also given as a part of this custom SLA element. There is also an expanded view that is available, which will bring in much more fields onto the UI if the agents wants to see much more information at a case level. So in the middle pane, as you can see, the most important section for us is the case flow here. So as we try to relate it back to the case type that we set up, and then back to the case flow that we had visualized for a sample processing, we have 5 different phases that have been defined: initial review, initial response, analysis and action, resolution. And under each of the phases, there are multiple steps that we have defined using the different step types that are available for the administrator. So as you can see, this is an input step type that we built, and then I can update the subject from here directly. So input step type is expected to give the agent complete focus on what is the data that he needs to focus on right now and verify and correct if necessary. So an input step type is the one that the agent executes, can enter data manually, and it will be persisted across the case entity wherever the field is present. And then the agent can again set the step to done, continue to navigate into the next step, capture the issue details. So as you can see here, the description is captured entirely as a part of the case description. If needed, the agent can go ahead and add additional notes as well, indicating the additional set of information that he has been able to capture from the end customer. And then there is also a case summary that has been generated, as you can see, using a Gen AI scenario. So using the case description that will have most of the data related to the case, the Gen AI scenario also generates a case summary, which is a consolidated information in a user understandable format, or more rather the agent understandable format, that he can get a complete overview of everything that has happened on the case so far in a short explanation as well. So this is the case summary feature that we also have as a part of our Service Cloud V2 solution. And the other details with respect to the involved parties, the attachment and everything is also available as a part. So going forward, again, capture the issue details. So assume that the agent went ahead and entered the details as a part of the notes. And then add product details. So under the related entities, there is also a possibility for the agent to bring in the related registered products for which the issue has been created, and then also go ahead and either create a subcase or link an existing case as a subcase to this main case as well. And in addition, again, as you can see here, there are also various other entities that can be brought in and establish a relationship with this particular case. So there can be a creation of a follow-up entity. So for example, this case can lead to the creation of another case, a quote, or lead on an opportunity. So all of these actions can be done. And in addition, there can also be an entity that can be related to this particular case as a successor or a predecessor relationship. So this is also possible here. And going forward, again, the complete history of the interaction is captured. Both the change history as well as the document flow is captured and made visible to the agent here as well. So, as we understood so far, the agent gets a complete visibility into all the details that have been captured as a part of the case management, as a part of this particular case, including the customer information, the product information, the complete details that are provided by the end customer on the issue details, as well as a guided flow to help him to get from the case creation into the resolution mode. So, this is about the agent experience, and in addition, a couple of things. Again, similar cases is our machine learning capability that is available, and also knowledge bases can be brought in so that the agent can make use of it as well. The other scenario that the agent can also make use of it is, let me just quickly open the screen a little bit. So here again, for the email drafting, right? So whenever the agent is expected to send a response to the customer, typically you make use of email templates. So this is a standard way of doing it. But we also have a Gen AI scenario called an email drafter, using which we have published 3 default prompts. So using which the agent will be able to use one of the available prompts, select the text preferences in terms of style, tone, and length, and the agent will be able to generate an email draft from this. So the email draft is generated using the contextual information of the case, and in addition, with the Gen AI scenario on taking into consideration the preferences that have been specified here. So the agent will be able to make use of this, populate or generate an email draft, continue to do or enhance the email with manual modifications as necessary, and send it over to the end customer. So this is also one of our Gen AI scenarios. So this is with respect to mapping your business process as a part of your organization into a case type, which in turn will be available to the agent as an end user experience to be able to handle it in a guided navigation way. Right. So this is this is what we mean when we say that case management is intended to be a framework for various different scenarios. So there could be simpler scenarios wherein it's just a troubleshooting scenario and the case type can be set up accordingly. And similarly, there could be a complex scenario wherein subcases and tasks get involved. Cross-sell and upsell opportunities are converted into leads and opportunities from a case. And there could be collaboration capabilities that have been brought in as well. So we do have the Microsoft Teams integration for the collaboration capability as well. So this is a short overview of what case management is able to do. So just a few other additional details on the admin experience as such. So as you can see here, this is a case type, and there are a multitude of flexibility and adaptation capabilities that we have provided. So the entire section, the left pane, the middle pane, as well as the right pane, is completely customizable according to a case type. That means that for a troubleshooting case type, if you see that there is no relevance for some of the entries here or some of the sections here, the administrator will be able to completely remove it, and that adaptation is only specific to that particular case type. So case type specific adaptation can be done. This helps in, again, streamlining the view for the agent as well as making an optimal use of the available space as well as the information that is displayed to the agent. So the case management, case type based UI modifications and adaptations are possible. And similarly, there is also a possibility for you to customize the tabs, the tab orders, and even bring in custom sections and modify the various different field sets that you see as a part of the screen. So all of these are some of the adaptation capabilities that are available for an administrator to be able to set up the end user's view to be able to provide them the optimal information at all times. With that, it was a short overview of case management scenario, and me and our team would be more than happy to help you and assist you to understand more of the functionalities that we provide. And hopefully you enjoyed the video and look forward to talking to you all. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of SAP Intelligent CX. Our comprehensive suite of applications seamlessly integrates front-end and back-end systems, providing a unified and streamlined approach to managing customer interactions. We incorporate artificial intelligence that allows your team to work smarter and faster, and our industry-tailored use cases and partner ecosystem empowers organizations to deliver extraordinary experiences, build lasting relationships, and drive sustainable growth. Our composable SAP Customer Experience Suite enables leading brands to understand and protect customer data, increase lifetime value with personalized journeys, close more business faster, drive consistently profitable commerce outcomes, and deliver automated and agent-assisted service. Learn how you can deliver extraordinary customer experiences. Visit sap.com/cx.